Okay, so next for the xBrat roller coaster auto trade is the options and settings. Not too many here because most of the things are done for you. So the xBrat roller coaster auto trade is mainly for scalping on these chart types: tick charts, volume, range, standard minute chart, Renko, Uni Renko, and Heikin-Ashi. So the main settings here, the differences from that general settings, which is for all of the auto traders, are these: the entry parameters and the exit parameters. So entry, let's go through these. Entry quantity is obviously the amount of futures contracts you want to trade for each trade. The default is 1. This can be changed when you're optimizing. Number 2 is the order type. Default is stop market, but these others are available: stop limit, MIT, market, and limit. We have default as stop market because we believe that is the most sensible entry strategy. Number 3 is the long entry price offset mode. So this is where the order will be placed upon the successful long signal being printed. So as default, we've set this to high, which means to break the high of that signal candle before getting into a long trade. You can also select above the close of the signal if you really wish for an aggressive entry, but we suggest a start line above the high of the signal candle for the long is the safest entry strategy. The long entry price offset is simply the number of ticks above the high of the signal candle. In this case, we have 2. So when the signal candle closes, above the high, 2 ticks, that's where our entry is going to be. And we'll see those on some charts in a little while. Low entry, again, for the short entry, or price offset is for the low of that signal candle for the short. Short entry price offset, again, the amount of ticks below that, the low of that candle to go. Expiry entry after M bars is very important. So once we get that signal candle, this is the amount of candles or bars that we say we can go back through again, because sometimes if we're going long, we get the signal candle, but then it pulls back down again before it has a go at that high of that signal candle, and away it goes. So when we're actually optimizing this strategy, we need to find out where that best is, whether it's the first, if it's got to do it in the first 5 candles, first 10, first 15 candles, and that will be part of that optimization process, part of that next bootcamp lesson. The max risk per trade is ticks. So it's the difference, it's the between the stop that's printed, and you'll see that on the chart better, and the entry. So if it's more than 25 ticks in this particular example, it will not take an order. The exit parameters, basically it's the stop line EMA period is where the trailing stop gets printed. One caveat here: the trailing stop does not start to print until the EMA goes through that opening price. That's number 9 here, and you'll see that more on the chart when we go to it. But again, we can alter this. So if we are 21 is pretty much the standard for this strategy, but if you wanted to go more aggressive with a 13, 11, or even a 7 or a 5, that would just be more aggressive on that trailing stop. More will become clear on the next slide with the chart. So this is what the chart looks like for the xBrat roller coaster auto trader. Couple of trades on here, and basically does what it says on the tin. Remember, it's a stochastic MACD cross with points of control for those signal candles. So this is purely roller coaster. It goes down, it goes up again, you get those trades. This is a 200 tick chart on ES. This is in the afternoon. And what we're looking for here is we get the signal candle on this first one on the left, and we get a down arrow, a red arrow, and we also get this vertical red line. So we're looking for the short. The signal line is here below the low of the tick candle there, and then we go 2 ticks below. We can see on the entry short entry offset is the low, and then we have 2 ticks. So this is the 2 ticks just here. We have a max risk of 25, so there's less than 25 ticks between the stop that's printed automatically by the auto trader and the entry, so it's good. And then as you see here, as the EMA starts to actually come through that original entry, that's when we start to print that trailing stop, and then the profit is taken when it goes through that trailing stop just here. Next, 2 candles later, we get a long signal, green arrow, green vertical line, and the green start line here. You can see here we go 1, 2, 3 candles before it actually goes into the trade. Again, the trailing stop gets the EMA, when it gets through that original price, starts to print and then takes the stop out at this point here. This is a prime example where 21 may have been too aggressive at this point here, so we may want to change that EMA because otherwise we missed out on that. But again, when you're optimizing, it's about not just that one trade, it's about the number of trades that you look at. And for a 200 tick chart, you only need to be looking back 30 days because there's a lot of trades within a 30-day period for that. So again, zooming out a little bit here, we go through these 2 trades that we just talked about here. There's a third trade which is a winner again, so we get the down signal here, just takes a small profit on that trading stop getting hit. But then look at the bottom of the chart here, the grey period starts, so it will not take a trade during this period, which is a good thing because that's a loser, and that never triggered. This one was a winner, this one was a loser. But when I've optimized this particular strategy, this time of the day is not good for a 200 tick chart on a roller coaster, and that's part of that optimization masterclass, which is next. Then the grey bar finishes, so it's active again. We get a trade, we get a long trade, goes long, trading stop gets printed until the profit gets taken. At this point, we have the blue line, so our max profit for the day has been taken. It will not trade anymore. So this blue line has been printed both vertical and horizontal. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4 winners, and it's got to that point where I think it's $2,000 for the day. That is it. That is the max profit taken. Will not take any more trades for the day. So the roller coaster is very, very simple. Stochastic MACD cross. We've gone through all of the settings in the general settings, then those specific to the xBrat roller coaster. The next thing now is to get on and go through an optimization process. And I'm going to probably go through the optimization process for this S&P mini futures on the 200 tick chart because I've just worked through this. So then I'll see you in the next lesson and we'll get that sorted out.